So today I'll be talking about my experience on the carnivore diet that I did possibly late 2020 to early 2021. I did it for approximately 6 months. I think I started in September 2020 and then I did the diet until end of March 2021. And before I went on that diet, I actually was on the ketogenic diet for around a year. I went on that from September 2019 to September 2020. And September 2020 I switched to carnivore. And yeah, September 2019 to September 2020 was quite a rough year for me. It was the end of high school and things were getting a bit stressful. There were a lot of issues that I had with like social anxiety and all that kind of stuff. And the one thing I noticed is the first 2 weeks that I went on the ketogenic diet, I actually did it because I saw some Ken Berry videos, and so I was a huge hypochondriac in high school. I wanted to like prevent everything as much as possible, so I was trying to do everything correctly. I was like running every day, eating whole grains and stuff, and that was actually working out quite well for me. But then I came across like some studies and stuff, because I was doing biology in high school. I came across some studies on like some cholesterol related thing, and it like sent me down a rabbit hole with like these ketogenic YouTubers. Like Ken Berry was the one that I saw, and because I was only 17 at the time, I was very gullible to these people on YouTube, and I didn't really question anything outside of their expertise. And because he was a doctor, medically trained physician, I just accepted his belief as his perspectives as verbatim. Yeah, so for the first 2 weeks that I was on that diet, the first thing I noticed was insane amounts of anxiety, like a wired but tired feeling. So I noticed that especially for the first 2 weeks, I noticed that I could like hear my heart beat in my ears, and I didn't have like any energy for school. And also I couldn't sleep either. Like I had insanely bad insomnia, and I felt very dehydrated even though I was drinking a lot of water. An increase in heart arrhythmias. I had heart arrhythmias before I went on the keto diet. That's the other reason I went on it actually. So like a Ken Berry video of with like a heart specialist, and they're like saying that they actually see like reduced cases of like PVCs with people on keto. And yeah, that's fucking bullshit. And it like increased my hyperfixations to the point where I didn't even feel like I was human anymore, and I felt like I needed to control every aspect of my life, like more and more, and that diet really didn't help that. I guess that was in of itself a control mechanism. It didn't help anything, and I was just in this chronic state of stress. I did cheat a lot on the ketogenic diet. I'd chronically go off sometimes and like refuel with carbs, like do these carving up days. Yeah, it just completely messed me up hormonally speaking. I also like developed like the Raynaud's erythromelalgia, autoimmune issues, as soon as I went on the ketogenic diet. So that is interesting. I had no energy either to like do anything. I was like so freaking tired. I was always in a very high adrenaline state. I remember in the summertime of 2020, right after I graduated, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I was like eating stevia and stuff, and when I added back in carbohydrate, I was just completely fucked. Like I felt like I was gonna have a panic attack, and I actually did have like a very bad panic attack in, I think it was November 2019. Like 2 weeks after that, I had a massive panic attack at my high school, and it was just never the same since. After that, I had one on the plane, like early 2020, the pandemic was just starting and it was really bad. So I was just in that chronic state basically until September 2020, and that's when I think it was probably Paul Saladino, I think. Some other carnivore YouTubers like Elliot Overton and John Baker and Jordan Peterson and stuff, and I was just like looking at them and I was like, damn, this carnivore diet could be really, really good. You know what, I'll just try it for 6 months. And when I switched to the carnivore diet, I noticed a couple of things get better and other things get worse. So the stuff that got better was I noticed I just looked better overall, and my face looked slimmer and I just looked healthier in general. I didn't look as yellow. The thing was, yeah, the stuff that got worse was definitely the anxiety. Kind of got a lot worse. Started to affect my personality and like my thoughts. Like all my intrusive thoughts like shifted completely. Just completely turned me into a completely different person basically. I guess that's what this video is about. Basically, there was a time period where I went to visit a couple of people in Cape Town. Halfway through this carnival journey that I was doing, and when I was there and I met all these people there, I was completely stuffed in the head. I had like that adrenaline stare, you know, if you get what I'm saying, like that wide-eyed, chronic wide-eyed stare, and I was just high on adrenaline the entire time. And I guess the way to describe it is when you're high on adrenaline like that on carnival, everything feels too real. You feel like your consciousness is like dialed up too much to the point where you feel unstable, just by the fact that you're so conscious to the point where you feel you can't maintain it, especially on like chronically stressed situations like going on a plane, for example. The way I can describe it is when you're on a carnivore diet and you go on a plane, it's like you have such mental clarity to the point where you're fully aware where you are at that exact moment, to the point where you know you're 40,000 feet above the sea in a flying tin can, and you know that that's actually happening. It freaks you out badly. Really badly. And I don't think that's mental clarity. I think that's definitely related to stress hormones and the body yearning for carbohydrate that you're not giving it. It increases the stress response to get it. My cholesterol skyrocketed, sky the fuck high, 700 milligrams per deciliter LDL cholesterol, like holy fucking shit, man. I realized something was deeply wrong was when I was with one of them in this apartment room, and I got like these deep thoughts inside my head of like killing that person, like chopping them up into like little bits or whatever. I've never really been like that before. I did kind of have those thoughts on like the ketogenic diet as well, slightly, but it was not nearly as bad as on the carnivore diet, and it didn't happen as frequently as on the carnivore diet. But basically on this carnivore diet, I realized that things were not alright when I started to have those thoughts. I didn't even feel bad about those thoughts either. I was like, this is great, can't wait to do this. It's like, holy fuck. Yeah, it was all the time basically. Like the time was like when I was in the kitchen and my family was like making food, and I just saw the knife rack there, and I was like, damn, I really want to like take those knives, slide into the backs of everyone right now. Like that is not okay. And like the fact that I didn't feel any remorse, no guilt about it, just wanted to do it, like it was innate to my personality or something. The reason why I bring this up now instead of hiding it is because I know for a fact that the carnivore diet caused these issues because I don't have them anymore. In fact, they went off as soon as I went off the carnivore diet when I added in fruit back into my diet and rice and stuff. And the interesting thing is I started to get fruit dreams on the carnivore diet, and every time I get fruit dreams on the carnivore diet, I just open up YouTube and type in Canberry or whatever, and they'd always have a recently uploaded video on how to deal with these carb addictions, you know, how to get through your carbohydrate addictions. It's just so stupid looking back at it, because no wonder they were the most popular videos on the channel. Everyone was going through those. I wasn't the only one, because the body requires carbohydrate. It's the main fuel source of the body. Glucose. Deprive glucose to the brain, see what happens. Yeah, and I eventually met other people who were on the carnivore diet, and I told them these things that happened to me, and they said the exact same thing happened to them as well. And I'm not surprised, you know, they all had these weird violent tendencies and terrible thoughts and stuff, and I feel like it's all related to physiology at this point. I feel like the carnivore diet proves that, you know, whereas someone is having messed up actions and thoughts and stuff, it's just their messed up physiology. And it just kind of creates this new perspective on life where it's like, what if the key to like solving vital issues is like just fixing a person's physiology, getting the physiology back on track? If I'm right about this, which I think I am, because, you know, personal experiences, they're not fake. Like when you have a personal experience, it's like, oh shit, this is real. If you have a personal experience, it immediately just becomes real to you. Honest to God, most of this stuff online is absolute bullshit, and I feel like people know that deep down in their heads, but they don't want to accept it because they want something magical and serene, and yeah, it's just really fucking shit, man. Like, obviously there is some truth to these things, you know. I did actually get a lot of benefits on the carnivore diet. Improved gut health, skin got really clear, I didn't have a single zit. My teeth kind of like healed themselves. If you look at the cost/benefit analysis, it still wasn't worth it because I still got these like terrible issues, you know, like chronically feeling stressed all the time, very bad sleep, couldn't go to sleep, lost all sense of being like able to dream in any capacity, lost my creativity completely. You know, I'm a very creative individual, I'd like to think, at least. Yeah, just sending a warning to the gullible people out there. And also, I just want to quickly mention, there's like a lot of rounds going on about Jordan Peterson and stuff, and saying like, oh, he's so angry going on, he's got trauma and stuff, like it's his personality and stuff. I'm telling you right now, it's the carnivore diet.